Welcome to Mission DIY. Today I'm taking you through a full bathroom renovation, from demo to the final reveal. This is a real DIY remodel, real budget, real mistakes, and real solutions. If you're planning a bathroom reno, then you've got to watch this video. Let's start with what this bathroom looked like before. It was functional but outdated. We had old tile, poor lighting, a vanity that was too short, and it lacked storage. The goal was to modernize it without moving plumbing or blowing the budget. Here's the plan. We're keeping the layout the same, but updating the vanity, flooring, lighting, and finishes. We decided on keeping the shower as the tiles were newer than the rest of the bathroom. We wanted to remove the safety bars and create more room in the tiny shower, and fix other damaged tiles as well. We also decided to keep the medicine cabinet since it was built into the wall and saves a lot of space. Check out the video in the link below where we upgrade it. The focus now is durability, clean lines, and DIY-friendly materials. I'll break down the costs at the end, so stick around for that. Removing old tile is no joke, especially when you're dealing with a house from the 1960s. If you're renovating an older home, this is what you need to be ready for. This tile wasn't just thin set on drywall. Back in the day, this tile was set into a thick layer of concrete, with metal mesh installed on the walls. So be ready for a lot of dust. Demo always looks fun, but this is where you find surprises. In our case, we found water damage on the subfloor, so we needed to completely remove it down to the floor joists and install new wood subfloor. This right here is why people say, expect the unexpected. Prep is never a fun part of renovation, but it is the most important. Tile and fixtures are only as good as what's underneath, so don't skip prep. Since the old tile that we removed was so thick, the toilet pipe was now going to be too high for the new floor, so we had to cut it so the new flange could sit right on top of the new tile. We installed cement board on top of the subfloor. This creates a sturdy foundation for the tile. We ended up going with porcelain tile because it's durable, affordable, and timeless. I'm not a professional tiler, but I've tiled a lot before. Since this bathroom is small, I started by laying out the pieces and cutting the tiles so that install could move more efficiently. If you're new to tile, take your time and check for level constantly. Next up was drywall. I didn't catch the install on camera, but this is the taping and mudding stage. I'll be honest, this is not my favorite part of any renovation. Mudding takes precision and skill, and sanding is dirty. But it's one of those steps you just can't skip. Mudding is tough because you don't want to end up with a bunch of divots or high spots you'll have to fix or sand down later. But by going slow and taking your time, anyone can do it. And honestly, it reminds me that good things take patience and trust in the process. Sometimes the work is messy, uncomfortable, and slow, but that's where the foundation is built. And that's really true beyond renovations. God does a lot of His work in the unseen and uncomfortable seasons, shaping things long before the finished result ever shows. Okay, now this is the more exciting part. For me, painting is one of the most satisfying parts of any project. Paint can quickly transform the look of a room or a build for a relatively low cost. Paint, caulk, and cleanup are what take the project from almost done to giving it a finished look. Installing the window trim went next, and then we moved on to fixing the shower tile. I didn't get some of it on camera, but you can see that the safety bars were removed, and new tile was installed in their place. Here, we're replacing the tiles around the shower opening because the wrong ones had been installed by the prior owner of the house. These have a beveled end and are meant to be used as edges or borders, such as the shower doorway. We were wondering why these tiles weren't sticking very well. And then we realized that we bought the wrong container and were using grout instead of mortar. Oopsie. So we took them off and restuck them with mortar. At least they were already cut. I worked on repairing tiles near the floor while Russ fixed my mistake. We later installed the shower door that had been there before, since it was in good condition. We used beveled trim tile to use around the floor as molding. If you want to see how we made this vanity cabinet, check out the link in the description below. Once the vanity went in, the bathroom really started to feel real. I made the vanity top out of scrap wood. To be honest, I didn't quite like how it turned out, but it was a fun experiment. Here's how it looked before. I thought it would be neat to have a stripey kind of look, but man, I really thought it was ugly. So I ended up putting a whitewash effect over it and called it good. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, check out our other video where I transformed this counter again. What do you think would be the best countertop for this space? Okay, so finally the vanity lighting went in, and then I grouted the tile. The toilet went in next, but I didn't get that on film. And then we were done. Here's the rough breakdown of the costs. Demo, no cost, but we did rent a dumpster, and we used that for other demo. That was about $400. The total was around $800, not including the dumpster. So for less than $1,000, we transformed this space and saved thousands by doing it ourselves. This is the same bathroom, but it feels completely different. Clean, bright, and way more functional. If you're planning a bathroom renovation, let me know in the comments what part you're working on. We've got more DIY reno projects coming, so please subscribe if you want real-world, doable home projects. I hope this inspires you to renovate your bathroom. Thanks for watching.